Hi, I'm Phil Constantine. On this episode of Travels with Phil, we're going to be looking at the total solar eclipse of April the 8th, 2024. Lots of videos, lots of photographs. This is the path that it took. A lot of this information comes directly from NASA, and unfortunately for a lot of folks, they did see a lot of clouds out there. And we also have some pictures here from the International Space Station. So here is a video from Mazatlan, Mexico, where it first came on shore, and you can see the actual rebroadcast, I guess, where it was recorded live, put it that way. This was actually above the clouds. This was taken from a jet aircraft that was put together from NASA. You can see the red marks out there on the edges. Those are solar prominences, like big flames coming up. Not exactly flames, but gives you just some sort of description for it there. And that was as it was taking place. Now we're going to move over here to Cleveland, Ohio, where you can see it just about to finish crossing over, blocking, and then wow, that's what's called the diamond ring effect. And you can see that as these are going along, it's never going to be exactly the same, because this is the active sun going on behind it in the background there. So quite impressive there in Cleveland, Ohio. I have several different locations here. Now, the next one that we are going to here is zooming in on the right-hand side bottom corner. Now, you see that area there that looks like a little triangle. That's a solar prominence. So these are magnetic fields, all kinds of things coming up from the surface of the sun. The area in there is anywhere between 1 million and a couple of million degrees. The color, the white stuff you see there, the corona, that could be around 1 million degrees. But you notice you can actually see a little bit of movement here. It seems to be getting a little bit larger. Well, what's actually happening is the moon is still moving here, because we're zooming in. You can see the movement going on there around this particular solar prominence, and it continues on. I've seen two eclipses, one in Oregon and the other one in Baja California. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it to this one. But just impressive. And you're able to see these with the naked eye. You don't have to wear glasses when you're in the totality. Now, if you're outside of the area where it's completely blocked, where the moon completely blocks the sun, then you do need to wear the special glasses to protect your eyes. But in this particular time, you don't have to. Most times it was between 3 and 4 minutes length of time that you were able to see the totality, depending on if you were exactly in the very center of where the shadow across the earth, which is exactly what this is, or the shadow across the earth was moving along. My brother got to see it up in Vermont. My son got to see it in Texas. And the length of times there were about 3.5 minutes, give or take, just a little bit. So it's an amazing spot. You will hear people cheering when you're in groups out there. Just animals start making different noises. Pretty impressive as you move along there. And you can see now there's a little bit of an arc there to that prominence as it continues on to move and be a dynamic structure, which is what the sun is. This is just before the eclipse, and you can see some of the sunspots on the sun. This is from Junction, Texas. You can see the filtered on the right-hand side. That's another sunspot there. You also see a little bit of movement in it. Well, it appears that those are clouds coming through. Now, this is Maine. And on the right-hand side, you are actually seeing what was a live picture from the International Space Station, and that is the actual shadow of the moon moving across the surface of the Earth. And if you look over toward the bottom right-hand side of where the shadow is, you'll see that it is slowly starting to move across the landscape. Just off to the left of where it says NASA Live there, if you'll just picture one of those little green spots, and you'll see the shadows coming closer and closer. Well, it's traveling thousands of miles per hour. The International Space Station is also traveling around 17,000 miles per hour, so it's actually moving faster. And they just happen to be in the right spot to be able to take these quote-unquote live pictures. They were live when they were taken on April the 8th, 2024. And that, to me, that's just a phenomenal sight where you can see the shadow of the moon traveling across the surface of the Earth out there. And again, from the International Space Station, and this was recorded live as it was happening. So just really phenomenal pictures here. Again, it's just an awe-inspiring event. And so I'm going to give you a bunch of photos here from a variety of sources, a variety of locations. Most of them are just for a second or so, but just some really nice pictures here. The Washington Monument, you can see the variations of time-lapse photography there. My brother asked me, can you actually see planets? Yep, that's a planet over there on the right-hand side. This was taken during the eclipse. And they just happened to have a jet plane fly over while a person was taking a photo there. So a variety of pictures here from a variety of locations. And a little bit of humor here. The various stages of an eclipse with Oreos. And that's no moon, it's a space station. And just an apocalypse when the sun's between the Earth and the moon. And finally, be careful using a colander because it might strain your eyes. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please feel free to make comments below as long as the language is family friendly. And if you like this video, please click on the thumbs up button below. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the circle with my picture in it in the lower right hand corner of the video. The arrow is pointing at it now. And once you have subscribed, you can be notified of when I have a new video posted by clicking on the bell icon in the description field below the video. Thanks again for watching.